Michael McDougall.
I want to second the proposed amendment made by Senator Clonan to the order of business. Somebody listening to the order of business here today would be struck by the consistent expressions right across this House of horror at what is happening in Gaza. The terms in which we decry it and deplore it and condemn it are hugely important. But the accusation being put against Ireland by senior politicians in the United States, egged on by senior politicians in the Israeli government, that Irish people who support the ending of the genocide in Gaza and who support a two-state solution to the Arab-Israeli issue and who support the maintenance of human rights both on the West Bank and in the Gaza Strip are motivated by anti-Semitism is a deep slur and, as Senator Clonan said, a defamation against the Irish people, against their government, and is wholly insupportable. And I do recall that Deputy Shatter, as he then was, on one occasion in a book which he wrote after I think he lost his seat, made particular references to the then Minister, opposition spokesman Willie O'Dea, Deputy Willie O'Dea, who accused him of arrogance in the course of a debate. And I know that in the book, Deputy Shatter says that this is a typical anti-Semitic trope. Now, anti-Semitism means hatred of the Jews as Jews. And any group of people in Israel who voice concern about what's happening in the West Bank, Gaza, and what's happening to the Palestinian Arabs in Gaza, including former prime ministers, cannot be accused of anti-Semitism with any credibility. So therefore, accusing the Irish government, the Irish people, this House and this Parliament of anti-Semitism is totally out of order and must end. Thank you. That Seanad Éireann condemns outright all of the violence perpetrated in and around the Gaza Strip from the 7th of October 2023 to this time, condemns outright any proposal, including that of the Israeli Defence Minister Israel Katz, for the displacement, concentration or removal by the IDF of the population of Gaza Strip to any restricted area or places within the Gaza Strip, or for their expulsion or displacement to any other territory or state. Reconfirms its support for a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Calls on the government to secure the earliest possible enactment of the Occupied Territories legislation. Calls for the immediate, permanent and unconditional cessation of all military and paramilitary activity in the Gaza Strip, and for the unconditional release of all hostages seized in the atrocities perpetrated by Hamas on the 7th of October 2023. Calls for the immediate restoration under UN supervision of food, medicines and other humanitarian aid distribution for all civilians in the Gaza Strip. Calls on all parties to the conflict and their international allies to abide strictly and completely by the requirements of international law, and calls on the European Union and its member states to use all their capacities, including imposition of sanctions, to uphold international law, to protect the people of Gaza Strip from further suffering and death, and to vindicate the human rights of all civilians there.
Seconded?
Second.
Yeah. Is the motion agreed? Agreed. Item 1, motion regarding proposal.